Welcome to Vault TV. If you're fed up with paying cable companies and streaming apps too much money every month for limited content, then Vault TV is the solution you've been waiting for. Vault TV uses our innovative software to connect you with up to 17,000 live TV channels from over 50 countries worldwide. Watch up to 100,000 movies on demand, up to 5,000 TV shows with over 120,000 episodes, live sports, news, and so much more. Starting as low as $12.99 per month and no need for a cable guy to come to your home, it's never been a better time to make the switch to Vault TV. Save money and have the full freedom to control your home entertainment your way. Visit us at vaulttv.com and start saving money today.
What up? Big Herc916, positivity, motivation. And, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we got on a topic I thought would be of interest to a lot of you young men out there and young women, as far as how to avoid getting caught up in a really bad situation. And in a lot of instances, people have sexual relations, and those situations sometimes aren't express consent, but they're implied consent. And what I mean by that is, you've seen it with, various rappers, entertainers that get accused of certain acts, and those particular acts are criminal, and they can be considered sexual assault, and it just goes all bad. And those situations a lot of times could go down like this. You're out partying and you got an attractive female, maybe and her friends, a couple of the homies, and people are drinking, they're, doing some drugs, and, sexual energies in the air, because everybody, the guys anyways, they want to get laid. The females are kind of contemplating who they would sleep with, but they haven't actually said yes or no to anybody. Well, maybe one of the females gets a little too intoxicated, and one of the guys, somehow gets her back in the room, and he has sex with her, and maybe the sex with her, she went along with it, and could have possibly expressly consented, given him permission to have sex. But then, in the midst of it, he comes out, she's still back there naked. He tells his homie goes back there now, disappears into the back room, and engages in sex with this woman who's inebriated, who's half conscious, and has sex with her. He comes out and tells another homie, and then he goes back there and has sex with her. Now, the first guy could have been express consent, but by the third guy, this, which turned into a gangbang, is now a rape situation, because the two other people engaged in in the act where she didn't give them express consent, but because she was laying there naked, it was implied. And once she regains consciousness, either the embarrassment or sometimes just the fact that it wasn't what she intended it to be, because she thought like the first guy wouldn't have done something like that because she had feelings for him. This whole situation turns into a bad situation. And now you have, the people that were at the party involved as witnesses. You have, these 3 other guys, and, these guys didn't use condoms. You have DNA, and it just turns real ugly. And this happens time and time again. It happens at parties, and just because somebody is famous or they have a name, they think it gives them permission. That who's gonna not say that they were given consent, because they don't have to take anything, because they're blah blah blah, everybody wants to sleep with them. But that's not necessarily the case. There's a lot of times a woman wants to be able to say yes or no, and because she's in a position where she feels she's pressured, or a situation where she's not fully conscious, it's a rape. And that's where the game gets twisted, man. And I've heard of it going down, and even on the porn sets, man. After a girl does a scene, she's showering, and the cameras aren't rolling. You might have a director going there thinking he can pound out a quick one. You might have the guy whose house that the scene was being shot at thinking he can just walk in there because she just got through having sex with 4 or 5 guys, and he can pound out a quick one. You have somebody who's a random just person visiting the house thinking that he can get a quick one because, hey, she just did these other 4 guys, 5 guys, so therefore what is a 6th guy, and that's how a lot of these situations happen. So hey, I'm just giving you guys some game, especially women in the entertainment industry. Porn girls know what I'm talking about. These dudes at these parties know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's best just to get the hell out the house. And if you're a girl and you're at a situation, it's probably best that if you're, working on a set, to have somebody chaperone you there so that you can make sure that only what you're being paid to do is what's being done, and you're not having to engage in extracurricular in order to feel that you're you've completed your job, or whatever the situation may be you're seeing. And it's really bad. This stuff goes on all the time in Hollywood, and sometimes the girls don't want to say that they were partying and doing the stuff because it's then it seems like, oh well, you were also doing the same thing. You were doing whether it's the Molly or the blow or the GHB or whatever the case may be, but the Percocets or the Xannies, but all this stuff is usually a recipe for disaster. And you young dudes out there, and when you're in a situation at a particular location, and of something like this going down, burn rubber, bro. Burn rubber, because the first person they see when they wake up, you're going to be a suspect. You might not even went in there. You might have just been somebody who went to the bathroom and happened to be the face that of consciousness when the eyes came open, and it happens. And like you say, you women, you thinking you're all hot and fine and blah blah blah, and these dudes it's like this and that, and dude, it can turn real ugly. And it's just the nature of that culture and that environment. A lot of these things like this happen, and you do have people who don't do this stuff, but you do have a lot of people who do, and they don't have no problem, participating in stuff like this because they figure it's one of the French benefits. And it's ugly. It's ugly, man. It can happen even on some of these auditions. You go in there and you're supposed to be reading the lines. They tell you to take your shirt off, and next thing you know, you're butt naked, and it ain't for a nude scene, but you feel that it's part of the job. Stuff going down in the studio, and if you're there, you could be part of the conspiracy. So you young boys in high school, young girls, dude, you don't want to have to deal with that moving forward in life, to have that on your conscience, or to have to deal with that as far as those charges being on your record. It can ruin you, man. And I've seen dudes get caught up like that, girls in high school who were very fast, who were participating in things consensually, letting 2, 3, 4 guys, get out with them. And when a situation happened and, they happened to come home late one time, this one particular situation I heard about, and the dad was going to whoop that ass. Well, the girl said that she was raped. And these 2 dudes, all-star athletes, it became a very public situation in the neighborhood, and they were looking at doing some time. But once it came out that this girl had practically slept with 15 dudes in the neighborhood willingly, and she did this on a regular, the case got thrown out because of embarrassment to the family. But these are the type of things that now even more so are prevalent because of all the cameras and stuff like that, and people taking pictures and this social media stuff. So, be careful, man. Be careful. I'd hate to see some of you youngsters catch cases, and I'd hate to see you females out there, putting yourself in situations where you're now subject to this type of public scrutiny. And I'm just trying to tell you guys just to be wise and to think. And like I said, it's not like back in the day. This thing now, things go public so quick, and just because of social media and gossip, the embarrassment, you guys could catch a rape case at the drop of a dime. So use your head, man, not your little head, your big head, and think when you're in situations like this, and don't let yourself get caught up and have to try to work your way out of a bad situation. Avoid the situation from the jump. And you women, man, be careful. Don't put yourself in positions where things like this could happen to you. No matter how cool you think the guy is, how cute he is, it can end up in a recipe for disaster, like I said. And I know females who have been in situations like that, and they were embarrassed, and they didn't even know how to go about trying to bring justice to the situation because of just they're being so naive from the jump. So just a little game, man. Big Herc916.
Hello, I'm Big Herc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.
Hey.
I got that work. Hey, see, while y'all in quarantine, I got that work. Split the coronavirus wig, man. Hey, go to the link in the description and get your limited edition coronavirus wig splitter shirts. Big Herc916 getting down fresh out.